Hello, thank you for taking the time to learn more about the Shared Street pilot projects. This presentation is approximately 7 minutes, and in it we will provide you with a background of the Neighborhood Complete Streets program, define shared streets, and briefly discuss the Shared Streets pilot projects. After this presentation, we encourage you to share your experiences with us using an experience mapping tool and a separate feedback form. The Neighborhood Complete Streets program was initiated in 2014 after the Neighborhood Traffic Calming program was retired. The goal of the program is to address issues of safety and accessibility on Arlington's local streets to make streets safe and comfortable for all who travel, whether by walking, biking, riding transit, or in a vehicle. The program has been funding and building capital projects to reach this goal on an annual basis since 2020. Streets are identified by the public through a simple online application. All nominated streets are scored based on objective criteria that consider the existing conditions of the street, history of collisions, vehicle travel speeds, and other activities in the area near each location. Once scored, the streets are then ranked into a prioritized list of streets for funding consideration. Staff and the Neighborhood Complete Streets Commission work together to identify which top-ranked streets will be advanced into NCS projects. Projects undergo a period of public engagement and preliminary design and are considered at a public funding hearing for recommendation by the Neighborhood Complete Streets Commission and eventual approval of the Arlington County Board. The NCS program has funded 4 pilot and 9 capital projects to date, with a total investment of $4.25 million in improvements in Arlington's neighborhood streets. But not all the locations on the project list are able to accommodate new sidewalks. Many locations on the ranked list of streets lack a complete sidewalk. The width of county-owned right-of-way is set. Many elements of the street need to fit within that space, such as street trees, utility poles, space for travel lanes, and on-street parking need to be balanced, since they are all important features of a neighborhood street. Often, topography is also an issue, making it hard to add sidewalks and requiring expensive retaining walls. As a result, the space from curb to curb is shared between people walking, biking, and driving. The street needs to be wide enough to allow for emergency services to perform important duties, but streets that are currently sharing space between all users could be improved to make them safer and more comfortable.
The streets element of Arlington County Master Transportation Plan offers a solution: shared streets. Shared streets are defined as a local street where the needs of motor vehicles are generally secondary to the needs of pedestrians, bicyclists, and other roadway users. Additional guidance from the National Association of City Transportation Officials defines neighborhood shared streets as places where there is insufficient sidewalk in which children play and people walk, sharing the roadway with drivers. Shared streets can meet the desires of adjacent residents and function foremost as a public space for recreation, socializing, and leisure. Many streets in Arlington already function as a shared street. However, we are missing some of the treatments which would enhance pedestrian comfort on these roadways. The National Association of City Transportation Officials presents guidance for the design of shared streets. Some of the recommendations seen here, like the elimination of curbs and reducing the setback from the street to the house, are not suitable for Arlington County. However, there are mid-block and street entrance treatment options which are used to slow down traffic. The county has used many of these design features, like chicanes and curb extensions, to slow down automobile traffic, and with success. Shared street entrance treatments, such as advisory signs and pavement markings, will be evaluated for potential inclusion in the county's multimodal safety engineering toolbox. These treatments are designed to eliminate the confusion of how the street is intended to be used. On this slide, you can see 2 examples of entrance treatments from other cities. They often include pavement markings and signage. The large image of the bicycle street stamp on the left-hand side is installed on streets where bicycle traffic is intended to take precedence over motorized vehicle traffic. The image of the sign assembly on the right is a vertical reminder to drivers to expect pedestrians and cyclists on the roadway and to drive with caution. As you will see on the next slide, these images helped inform a series of shared street entrance treatments as options to consider for Arlington streets. Engineering, Vision Zero, and transportation planning staff designed the shared street stamp on the left and the shared street sign assembly on the right. The stamp and sign are designed to meet national and county specifications for pavement markings and sign design. The stamp is intended to be painted on the entire travel lane width of the street. The size is intended to catch the attention of drivers who should expect to see children and adults walking, cycling, and rolling along the street. The bike and ped symbols are to be painted with a white reflective paint to increase visibility at nighttime, and the terracotta circle will also be bordered by the same reflective paint. The sign assembly is also to reinforce the shared condition of the street through additional symbols and a cautionary speed of 15 miles per hour, as is recommended by the Master Transportation Plan. These shared street entrance treatments will be evaluated for potential inclusion in the county's multimodal safety engineering toolbox and may be considered to address specific safety and operational challenges.
The NCS program is now looking for feedback on the experiences community members have traveling on the following street segments: 12th Street South from South Glebe Road to Walter Reed Drive in the Douglas Park neighborhood, South Lynn Street from 16th to 20th Street South in the Arlington Ridge neighborhood, and North Wakefield Street from Carling Springs to Wilson Boulevard in the Bluemont neighborhood. These 3 locations were all top ranked on the NCS list of nominated streets, do not have a complete sidewalk, and have characteristics that make adding a sidewalk prohibitively difficult. People currently drive, bike, and walk in the street in these locations, but we can add features to the street to make that shared street condition safer and more comfortable for all. Your feedback, along with traffic data, will help inform a concept design that will be shared for additional feedback.
Thank you for your attention throughout the presentation. As part of the public engagement process, we'd now like to hear from you. Once you exit this presentation, you may click on the links to participate in the online experience mapping tool and feedback form. Information from the feedback form will help us understand your current experience of the street, and the information gathered in the interactive map will help us inform a preliminary design for each of these 3 streets. These designs will then be shared for community feedback.